Hey guys, so today's video, there's a bit of an echo. I don't know if it's worse than usual or if I just forget how bad the echo is every time I go to film. So I haven't posted on this channel in over 2 weeks, and it's just because I've been planning very long form content on my second channel, which has now become like a get ready with me while deep diving into topics. If you want 30, 40, 50-minute videos on different topics, usually to do with like the beauty guru, beauty scene, that will be in description along with my book channel, my podcast. I don't know if there's anything else. That's it. I'm gonna be doing much shorter topics on here. Still not like hot tea, like, oh my god, someone tweeted something. Not that content is bad, it just doesn't bring me joy right now. So I'm kind of more into just finding a topic that I'm somewhat interested in and talking about it for 10, 15 minutes. So that's gonna be this channel. It's gonna be more quick topics, usually not to do with the beauty scene, unless it's a shorter topic, and then longer beauty type content will be on the second channel. So today we're talking about Elle Darby. I actually talked about her a few months back. I made a whole video about her. So she is a beauty influencer. She used to do a lot of fitness videos. She wanted to lose a bit of weight, so she started going to the gym, working out. She lost some weight. She felt good about, working out, and then she helped other people to work out. Then she ended up having a husband and a child, and she turned into more like not daily, but like a vlogger, mummy, wife, I guess just like typical family content, you could say, and that was kind of her direction on YouTube. So she was on about 500,000 to 600,000 subscribers. I'll actually get the proper stats on the screen once I get to her social blade. And she was just vlogging, just living her life. She was big on Instagram as well, had her own brand. Her husband had his own brand. He's very much into fitness as well, so he was selling a lot of like gym wear and things like that. They had a lot of brand deals. They were doing really well for themselves until the dreaded, looking through old tweets came up, and people looked through her tweets, people looked through his tweets, and what they found was that these people were very narrow-minded, very conservative in their views, in terms of like, only white is good, I guess. Those were their views, from what it seemed, because they were going at anyone who wasn't white or British white. As in, like, you couldn't be like British and something else, because that was a big no-no for them. It was like white, but mainly like British white was good for them. So the husband would make a lot of jokes about black people, using the N-word. She would make a lot of jokes about black people, Indian people, East Asian people, mainly I think it was Chinese people actually that she had an issue with, and actually coincidentally a lot of Polish people that she had issues with. And I'm fully Polish, like 100% Polish, living in the UK, so I kind of know I can't speak for discrimination against Asian people or black people, but I can speak for the discrimination against like immigrants from like white immigrants from outside of the UK, because that's something that I've lived through. So obviously it wasn't nice to see for me. I'm not like hurt by it because I don't care about her. Like I don't care about who she is as a person in a personal sense. Like it's personally not affecting my life, but I think it speaks volumes on how people like her speak about others, and then they become famous and they almost silence that side of them, but that side still exists. Like I'm sure that her being cancelled hasn't made her all of a sudden really like Polish people. Like I'm sure that's not the journey in her life that she has taken. Like she still probably is that person, but she's now being a lot more careful about it. And she was careful when she started blowing up, but like I just don't know why she wouldn't delete her tweets. Anyway, this is a long-winded way of saying like she just didn't like anyone that wasn't British white, and neither did her husband. So like they just perfectly matched up. And then when she started being more famous, she realized probably that like this wasn't a good direction to go into, but that once again doesn't mean that she doesn't think those things or believe those things. And I also don't think that a cancellation and a 6-month break would necessarily change much in her life unless she started to actively befriend people outside of the group that she enjoys and go out and experience other cultures, other nationalities. Like unless she's actively making a choice to engage in other cultures and nationalities, I don't think anything's gonna change. So anyway, I did this video and I needed to give you the backstory just so you wouldn't have to watch that video to understand this video. So that was basically the whole spiel. Anyway, so she actually put out a statement when the tweets went out, basically being like, oh my God, I can't believe people would find these. Like I'm so embarrassed. I'm gonna take some time off essentially. And then she disappeared off social media. It's been about 6 months, and she's now back on her YouTube channel. So she filmed a few videos that I'm gonna talk about. There are only some that are really relevant to this conversation. There's coming back to YouTube. It's all in like lowercase letters and the thumbnail's very dramatic. Like I don't really know what I want. Does that make sense? Like I don't know what I would want the title and thumbnail to be, but it's always really funny, like these were like just, I don't know, I'm not going to dwell too much on that because I don't think it's very important. The comments are turned off. It's on about 412,000 views and 23,000 likes, but I believe that a majority of these views are curiosity views, is what I like to call, when someone's going through a scandal or any kind of controversy, they'll get a lot of curiosity views, and then those views will go away once the curiosity is up. I believe these were just like, oh, I wonder what she has to say about this. There was this thing that came up on the screen at the beginning of the video, and the whole thing just cracks me up. It's so weirdly hilarious, like just how fake it all looks. I don't care if you're an Elle Darby fan, like if you're still an Elle Darby fan at this point, I'm gonna assume that you hate anyone that isn't white or British, or white British, and your opinion doesn't matter to me. Like clearly you're just as close-minded as she is. Like I think anyone that's in her comment section being like, people are being so dramatic, stay strong Elle Darby, like I'm like, well, you're just the same, you're one and the same, and like I just don't respect your opinion. So she put up this thing on the screen being like, there are a few times in life when it makes more sense to just stop, to take a breath. And I wrote, sorry, this font is so small and I'm not wearing glasses. There are also a few moments in life where it makes sense to not discriminate against people for no reason, but let's continue. And then she said to reevaluate, to revisit areas and need deeper healing. And I said, what are you healing from? The racism you put on others? I think they have some healing to do now from dealing with you. Like I think at the end of the day, what healing does she have to do? Healing your inner racism, your inner discrimination, healing your nationalist views about, you know, no immigrants in this country. Like what are you healing yourself from? Because I'm sure the people that you are discriminating against have a little bit more healing to do from the hurt that you've put on them anyway. And to return when you have the right message rooted in authenticity and truth. Is authenticity kind of like a buzzword lately? Like I've been seeing it thrown around a lot, and like social media is quite literally the opposite of authenticity. When you have authenticity on this side of things, social media is on this side of things. I don't think anything that she's going to put on her channel now is like authentic. It's just going to be what she thinks people want to hear. Does that make sense? So then so I didn't think it was going to get worse than this. I thought she was going to have this like infomercial there, and then she was just going to jump straight into like her saying sorry or something. It then jumps to a dramatic music montage of her and her baby. How is this helping me? Like, you know, she made so many, once again, I can't speak for the Asian hate, I can't speak for her hate against black people, but I can speak on just like the hate on Polish people, because that was the only thing that really would affect me personally directly, and the thing that I can speak on. So like as a Polish person, I'm not looking at this video being like, oh my god, her little montage with her baby, I feel so much better about like how much she hated Polish people, and probably still does. Like that montage really did nothing for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, chief. So I skipped the montage, it was very long. Do not use your baby for sympathy points once you've been called out for being nationalist, discriminatory, racist. Like, do not use your baby for sympathy points. Why are you throwing your baby into this whole situation? That's just rude. Then she jumps into discussing what happened. She wanted notes but decided against notes. Her dogs interrupt her and she makes it this whole like cute thing instead of just editing it out.
I feel like this is definitely one of those moments in life where I'm sat here thinking I probably should have put some notes together or a structure of what I would like to say after 6 months of thinking about this moment and building it up to be something really big in my mind. But I've decided against that because I would just like to do this again. I think that's Herbie wants to come in, hang on. Nice, good boys. Got a little helper here. Another one there.
So she said that she wanted to wait until the right time to come back to YouTube, which just makes me feel really weird. Like you either come back or you don't. I don't know. I think, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, I think people that get cancelled and don't go back to filming, like they give it that like little break. I think a lot of the time it's because they know that if they keep on uploading, people are going to keep on giving them hate. But if they give it a break, other things will happen in that time, and then when they come back, it will only be their loyal audience watching their videos. So like essentially they're just putting themselves through less hate. At 3 minutes and 30 seconds, she starts talking about, I'll just play the clip for you guys, it's way too much for me to like recap, but she essentially said that she needed a break to find self-love.
Last time we saw each other, 6 months ago, it's really wild for me to think about the fact that that's the last time you saw me, because for me that feels like a different life. It feels like a different version of me. It feels like I was in a different chapter. It very much feels like for me a new chapter has started. I have been trying to gather up the courage, feel for the timing, feel for the energy, the vibe of when felt right, and now is when it felt right for me to come back to YouTube. YouTube is my passion as much as it's something that I think actually I really did need a long break from.
How about love for other nationalities, love for other races, other cultures, people that aren't just British and white? Other than self-love, can we start just loving other nationalities? All of this is so centered around like me, I needed to heal, and I needed to self-love, and I needed a break, and How about all the people that you've hurt? She says that she understands that her coming back to the internet won't be easy for whoever it affected. She also uses a lot of, I'm just gonna throw quotes at you. She said 4 very interesting things that I thought were really odd. She said, first step of moving on. Why are you deciding on when we're gonna be moving on? And this is the first step to moving on. Okay, so you're moving on from the conversation, but everyone else that you've affected for the last few years of your life can't just be like, right, this is the first step to moving on. A baby montage. I feel so much better now. I saw you and your baby playing in like the sea to dramatic music. I'm moving on now. I feel so much better. Then she says that she's trying to like find her footing again on Instagram. She's like, I'm trying to find like the passion for it again. And like, it just sounds like this was so difficult for her, right? Like, oh my God, like I need to find like the love for myself and Instagram and my job again because like all of you pesky people called me out for like saying the N-word. I need to find the passion again. I found this video so infuriating. I actually would have had more respect for her if she had just come back without filming this video. Does that make sense? Like at this point, I think doing nothing is better than doing something bad. So just do nothing because your something didn't do anything for me. She also says, my reasons for being here are to show self-growth. That version of me is in the past. Okay. She also mentions her wedding and exciting things. So like she goes from this infomercial at the beginning to then a montage of her and her baby to then going me, self-respect, self-love, I hurt, I'm healing, to then jumping straight to being like, oh, by the way, I'm back because like I'm gonna have a wedding and there's so many exciting things that I want to show you guys, and like just straight back into like YouTuber mode, which anyway. So then there was another video called We Cancelled the Wedding. It's a vlog. It's on 340k views. Once again, I believe these are still curiosity views, but just slightly less. People are like slightly less curious, and there's 7.8 thousand likes. The wedding is not cancelled. So while she was on the break, everything shifted, and she believes that things need to happen for shifts in life and values. Now, she's treating her saying the N-word as some kind of a shift in her mindset, and because of that, she's downsizing her wedding. Those are the priority changes and the value changes that have come into her life. She said the N-word, hated on East Asian people, other Asian cultures, Polish people, and that then made her reevaluate her life to the point of downsizing her wedding, not educating herself, not reaching out to people outside of her race and nationality. No. Downsize her wedding. I believe they're downsizing the wedding because she understands that from this point onwards, her views are going to be much lower on YouTube. She's going to get less brand deals because of her tarnished reputation. She's going to make way less money. And she did admit in this video that her wedding was very expensive wedding. So she's downsizing, I believe, because of the fear that money is going to run out. Not because of some priority value change, just because she's scared money's gonna run out. So they're having a wedding abroad with just like the closest people. Anyway, then she filmed a video called What I Did While I Was Offline, Weight Loss and Parenthood, Chatty Get Ready With Me Q&A. It has 158,000 views. There are less views due to lack of curiosity with 4.9 thousand likes. Now comments are on for the first time, and they're quite positive, which confirms my views that these are mostly her fans who probably don't think that what she did was bad because they have the same small-minded, nasty thoughts about anyone not British or not white. Those are my opinions. During the 6 months offline, she actually went on a US road trip. So she basically took 6 months off YouTube to go on holiday. She was actually just taking a break. Like she was just on a break. She was on holiday. I was like, is this what cancellation looks like? Because wow, does it sound relaxing. A 6 month just break and holiday. And then she put in an editor's note because I guess while editing, she realized like how bad it sounded that she was like, oh yeah, just like in the 6 months, I just like went on holiday. And she She said she doesn't want this to come across as insensitive, so she put up pictures of her doing charity work very quickly.
Hey guys, just really quickly, editor's note as I am editing this video. I really didn't want... Excuse me, having his dinner. I really didn't want the answer to that question to come across as insensitive or as if it just felt like, oh, I went away on the holiday of a lifetime and ignored everything that happened. We spent a lot, if not the majority of that trip, doing a lot of work internally and externally. I have said since I came back to social media that maybe this work is something I want to share, maybe it's something I keep private. It's a really hard balance to try and find because I don't want anybody that I hurt feeling like I'm just sat here not doing anything. At the same time, I do kind of feel like the work I'm doing, I would never want it to come across as if I'm only doing it show off or I'm just doing the work just to say I've done the work, if you know what I mean. Like, but yeah, I just wanted to clear that up in case people just thought that we just went on holiday and it was amazing. There was a lot of work that was done. If it wasn't posted on social media, it didn't happen kind of thing. Yeah, just wanted to clear that up in case it was taken in the wrong way at all, because that would never be my intention. Enjoy the rest of the video.
But clearly that wasn't in the forefront of her mind. Like when she was thinking about the last 6 months of her life, she wasn't like charity work, education. Like forefront of her mind was we went on holiday, and then while she was editing she was like, ooh, I should probably mention the bit of charity work I did. This is actually what her views look like right now. So now after all the curiosity is done, she's getting about 70,000 to 100,000 views per vlog, which is still very good in the grand scheme of things. Now total subscribers, let me go through all of that. So she has lost 2,000 subs in the last month. She's on 1 million views in the last 30 days because she literally just started posting. At her height, she was gaining 40,000 subs a month. This must have been a big month. The views are really high as well. She must have had some viral videos. Then at her lowest, she was gaining about 1,000 a month. This was before her cancellation. Then when she was cancelled, she lost at her worst month, 25,000. When she was gone, she was getting about 36,000 views a month, which isn't a lot. Now at her height, she was on 611,000 subs, and at her lowest, now she's on 560,000. For views, she was on 98 million, and then she deleted a bunch of videos because there were some problematic videos of her fat shaming people at the gym and things like that. So she ended up at 81 million views. So she deleted quite a bit. Now, final thoughts. She made all of this really about herself, self-growth and self-healing, and I'm self-love, and very much oh, I was racist and I'm gonna use that as some woo-woo, I'm gonna love myself now, I'm gonna downsize my wedding, priorities. It wasn't really about she never really said what she did either. She came back to the internet, and if you hadn't known what she did from these videos, you would really think that she did nothing crazy. She'd never said, oh, I made these and these tweets, these are the groups of people I affected, this is what I did. She never outright said this is what I did, this is how it affected people, and this is what I did to work on it. She skirted around the topic and then made it a self-love thing. Self-love thing is oh, I go for a run every day and I eat my 5 a day and I meditate and I maybe do a bit of yoga. This is my self-love. I'm gonna get my nails done. Not I was racist, people called me out. I went on a 6-month road trip and now I'm back hey, self-love and things. Like I said, she struggles to say what she was cancelled for. This break was for her and to make people forget about the scandal so she could come back to no drama, and the vlogs now sit at around 100,000 views, which I think is way too much for her lack of accountability, and probably for the fact that she probably still has these thoughts. And that's my opinion on the matter. It is so hot in here. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. If you want, I will link the old video in description so you can have in detail what she did. But if you don't want to watch, this was my little recap plus update. So subscribe to the bell icon for engagement. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.